Hey folks, welcome back to Naman Reviews. Absolutely can't wait to tear into this one. Love Black Suit Spidey, and finally, I have Hot Toys Black Suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2, the video game, in my hands. There has been a lot of hype around this figure, especially on social media. Speaking of which, hope you can tap the like and subscribe buttons to support my channel. So I can't wait to take this to the light box and check out the newly developed body and symbiote-like skin, pincers, and of course that special edition head sculpt. We'll also do some fun poses in the toy room and outside under natural light. Finally, we'll settle on a score for this figure. So let's get to it. Here we have the front of the box appropriately. It has a blue and black color scheme. Spider-Man is front and center. He is tearing through the box, and immediately you can notice the alien-like skin. I can't wait to touch that skin. I know that sounds creepy. At the bottom, we have some branding. Over here, we have the Sideshow exclusive logo, which means you get that amazing special edition sculpt. The design continues on the side of the box, and I'm excited to see these tentacles, and I'm excited to take them out and see how they work. The back of this slipcover has the usual legalese and warnings from Sideshow, some branding up top, and that dark and light blue color scheme continuing at the back. I suspect that when we lift this slipcover, we are going to see a window box design featuring Spidey. Let's get this window box open, but first let's check out the back of the box. Up top it says Peter Parker, down below it says Peter Parker, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and you've got the video game number. So before we look at the manual and the accessories and a deep look at the figure, let's take a sneak peek. First impressions are very positive. The skin on this figure feels very durable, yet it also has some flexibility. It feels a lot like the Venom skin on the Venom movie figure by Hot Toys. It just feels very alien, and I love all the details on it. Look at that. Love how it glows. It just feels so alien. I know I keep saying that word, but Hot Toys has nailed this body. The costume looks gorgeous, and of course the head sculpt is just stunning. If you are thinking of buying this figure, you have to buy the special edition because this sculpt is fantastic. It really does look like the symbiote is slowly devouring Spider-Man. And of course you can remove this and put another sculpt in. Interestingly, this skin is much firmer. The plastic is much harder than the regular black head sculpt. As always, it's a good idea to read your instruction sheet before you play with your Hot Toys to avoid damaging your figure and to learn how to use the accessories correctly. This instruction sheet is surprisingly thin, but it gets the important points across. Tells you not to remove the costume or you'll damage the figure. Tells you how to articulate the figure correctly. Teaches you how to attach the web wings and the tentacle effect accessories. At the back, tells you how to attach the hands, how to attach the webs, how to attach the pincers, and how to put the stand together. So short but effective. This Spider-Man toy comes with a lot of accessories, so what we're going to do is look at them in segments, starting with the base. I don't usually like using stands because I like my figures to look natural, and with stands they do not look natural. The other problem is that some of these clips can damage the figure's costume, but with Spider-Man you want to do those dynamic poses, so that's where you do want to use the stand, and I would suggest just putting some foam around the clip so you don't damage the costume. Here we have a clip that fits at the end of the flight pole. We have a flight pole itself, which is dynamic, so you can get different poses just by bending it. And the end of this flight pole fits on the base here. Flight pole feels like it's made out of metal inside and rubber on top. It is very durable and it is very strong, holds all sorts of different positions. I think this base is very nice in terms of build quality, in terms of aesthetics. Nice solid base. There are a couple of textures on top, so this is a bit grainy, this is a bit smooth. Here it is all smooth as you would expect. I like the Spider-Man logo over here and here. Also, you'll notice it says black suit over here. It's a pretty nice stand, and I think I will be using it just because I want to get Spider-Man in some interesting poses. If you purchase the advanced suit version of this toy, or if you've purchased Iron Spider-Man, you will be familiar with these pincers and how they attach to Spider-Man. Here we get a set of 4 pincers. They're all identical. You also get these 4 pieces over here that fit on Spider-Man's back and cover those unsightly holes when you don't have the pincers on. I, for one, am excited to see what they do with Iron Spider-Man, the artisan version, because that is apparently magnetic, so you don't have those holes and you don't have to cover them with these pieces. The pincers themselves are incredibly impressive in terms of build quality, in terms of aesthetics, in terms of engineering as well. For starters, let me just warn you, these ends are quite sharp, so be very careful when handling them, or you might pierce your clothes or even your skin. I love the paint applications, the metallic finish over here, the metallic finish on the plastic as well. The translucent blue at the end also looks really nice, and the symbiote spreading all across the pincers looks really nice. I also love the amount of articulation these have. So by my count, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pieces of articulation. If you haven't purchased the advanced suit version of this toy, you will be surprised at how thick and long these pincers are. They are absolutely massive. And if you just purchased Iron Spidey, the old one before, these are huge in comparison. Just to give you an idea, let's extend the length of this. As you can see, it's quite long. In fact, compared to Spidey, it's 30% longer. I brought Spidey into the picture and you can see, yep, it is much longer than him. And also it fits quite easily in the back. And you don't have to worry, once it's in, it's in. Of course, when you are done with the pincer, you just take it out and you can get these pieces in. Fortunately, they are labeled at the back, so you know which piece goes where. Covering the unsightly holes on Spidey's back is not difficult at all. Once you have them connected, they look pretty good, but you can tell that there are some pieces on the holes. And that's why I am really looking forward to Artisan Iron Spider-Man, which is said to be magnetic, so you won't need holes. The pincers will just connect magnetically. Here is the final set of accessories, and of course the crown jewel here is that gorgeous head sculpt that looks like it's being devoured by the Venom symbiote. This is the special edition sculpt, and if you purchase this toy, I highly recommend you get the special edition version. In addition to this special edition head sculpt, you also get these 6 strings of newly designed black webbings, and they're in different shapes and sizes. You also get this very cool tentacle effect that fits on the forearm. And if you're not just satisfied with one tentacle effect, you can make your own. There are several very interesting TikTok videos that teach you how to do it. Also have these translucent black colored web wings that fit under Spidey's armpits and look pretty cool. Always nice to get these extra wrist pegs from Hot Toys. And finally, you get 8 pairs of interchangeable hands. 2 fists are already on his body, though those fists have some gaps so you can slip the webbings through them. In addition, you have these relaxed hands, web shooting hands, open left hand, and a gesturing right hand. I really like how the symbiote piece feels, and it looks on Spidey's forearm. Very, very smooth plastic. Does have this alien feel to it because it's a bit rubbery, it's a bit soft, and it fits quite easily on Spidey's forearm. You just have to remove the hand and slip this in and put the hand back on. As I mentioned earlier, if you are not satisfied with just having one of these, look up these tutorials on TikTok and you will find one that will teach you how to make more quite easily. I also love the shine on this. If you display this with Spidey in your detolf and it has artificial lighting, or if you take it out in the sun for some natural light, just looks really nice. I really love these magnetic Spidey wings. They are a bit of a hassle to get on the body, but once you get some practice, you can get them on. They are a bit sharp at the end, so just be a bit careful. But I love how the plastic looks. I love the translucent nature of it. Looks good under different lightings. I also like that one side of the wings is smooth, the other side has a bit of a texture on it. And if you look at it closer, you can see it looks a bit like a web. And finally, I do like the coloring. I like that there's a bit of a gradient going. It's darker at this end and it is lighter at this end. This Spidey set has a lot of play value in part because you have so many strings of different shapes and sizes. You can get all sorts of fun poses and they are really easy to use. They're also very thin. It seems like they were made of a cost-effective material, but they get the job done. In terms of coloring, they do look quite nice. There is a shine to them, which I really like. I did not realize this initially, but these two are actually a little different. One of them has a pointy end, one of them has a blobby end, and this one, the one with the pointy end, is actually a little bit longer. Hot Toys is an absolute master when it comes to making hands, and these hands look very nice. I like all the details on them. If you look close enough, you can see the knuckles, you can see the creases on the fingers. Hands are also very soft. Happy to say that they're very easy to get on the body. And I also like how they're colored, nice shine to them. And the white with subtle blue coloring on the edges looks pretty good too. Getting the web shooting hands ready to shoot is a bit of a hassle. You have to remove this plastic, attach this one, and then you can attach the string to it. I do not understand why this is not already on this. I don't see the need to have this without that. Understanding the process is key if you want to get the shooters on the shooting wrist without feeling frustrated. Once the shooting wrist is ready, just find the pointy end on the web to get it in the hole. I initially did not realize that the fists have a tiny hole in them so you can slide some of these webs through and it looks pretty cool. You need to take off the hand to get the larger symbiote piece on, but it is an easy process. Getting the magnetic wings on the body can be a bit challenging. I tried from the front here, but you might want to try from the back. You have to really push the pincers in to get them in securely. Here we have Hot Toys Black Suit Spider-Man straight out of the box in a museum pose. He does not have any accessories attached, including those fancy looking pincers. He's not even in a pose, and already he is one of the best looking figures in my collection. What immediately stands out, of course, is that gorgeous, shiny black suit. Not only does it feel alien, Hot Toys has done such a good job with that material, but it looks alien too. It almost looks alive. The other thing that stands out immediately is that spider symbol. I have been wanting a black suit Spider-Man from Hot Toys for so long, and I never got the Tobey Maguire one, but this looks gorgeous, and because it's from the video game, it has some comic book accuracy too. The symbol is beautifully painted. It's perfection. There is no white paint coming across onto the black costume. I absolutely love that. My other favorite Black Suit Spider-Man by Mafex has some issues with the white paint, but this is perfect. I also love how the head sculpt looks. It reminds me a little bit of the high-end PC gaming manufacturer Alienware. I also love these panel lines on the costume. They look absolutely beautiful. You'll also notice that there are different textures on the costume. Some of it is smooth, but over here and on his legs, here as well, there are patches where the suit is more textured, and that just gives this a very high-tech alien feel. I also love the proportions on this figure. He has that superhero build from comic books, but he still looks a little human. And I don't know if it's my imagination, but the PS4 version of the Spider-Man toys had a more muscular body that did not feel as realistic as it perhaps should have. I also love the side profile of this figure. I like that he's muscular, but I also like that he's thin and lanky, a lot like the comic books. Looking at the back, you'll notice that the costume has different textures. Again, some of it is smooth, some of it is more textured. Again, the Spider-Man symbol, beautifully painted, no flaws there. The only thing that bothers me a bit are those buttons that you have to take out to put the pincers in. And I, again, am very excited to see how the magnetic system is going to work with the Artisan Iron Spider, where you don't have to take anything out. and the pincers are magnetic. Before we look at the articulation, let me just say I've put this guy in a lot of dynamic poses, maybe for 5 or 10 or even 15 minutes at a time. And I am very impressed by this material. So far, knock on wood, notice no creasing, and the costume has not bunched up at the joints. The head is on a ball joint and gives you some very good articulation. Tilts left, tilts right, rotates very freely, looks down quite nicely, looks up quite nicely. I do not think that the neck joint moves, which is a bit of a shame, but you still get some decent articulation on the head. Nice bicep rotation. Shoulder goes up 90 degrees. Also moves forward quite nicely, moves back, but of course doesn't go 360 because of that suit. Double jointed elbow goes 120 degrees and rotates quite freely. Waist tilts left, tilts right, twist left, twist right. I love the ab crunch on this. So you've got plenty of points of articulation. Goes back, goes down, and goes further down. And even further down. In fact, I think there are 4 points of articulation here. Thighs rotate. Stretch 140 degrees. You could do that Johnny Cage punch. Double jointed knee, 120 degrees. Many points of articulation on the feet. Ankle pivot. Toe articulation. Overall, the articulation is outstanding. And what makes it even better is this beautiful suit. Not only does it look great, but so far no creasing and no damage. So if you want to get this amazing head sculpt on this body, the process for me at least was not as easy as it should have been. Normally you just take one head out, put the other one in, but for some reason this would not fit on the peg and I had to really squeeze down. Let me just demonstrate. This is the second time I'm doing it, so maybe it's a bit easier now. See, it just won't fit. I have to really press down. Still hasn't fit. I had to really wrestle with it off camera, but it's finally on. But I did think I was going to break something, maybe part of the body or tear the fabric, because I had to really push down. Finally, it is on. It does look really nice. The colors don't exactly match. This is much glossier. Still, looks pretty good. Now that we've seen the articulation and the accessories, it's time to take Spidey to the toy room for some fun poses.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Get the fuck up out my face. Money tucked inside the safe. If you ask me what I want, what you brought me in the case. Dodging ops, getting guap. Get the fuck up out my way. I'm forever on the race till they catch me in the chase. Get the fuck up out my face. Money tucked inside the safe. If you ask me what I want, what you brought me in the case. Dodging ops, getting guap. Get the fuck up out my way. I'm forever on the race. Rainy days, stormy winters, praying for the sun to stay. Shorty nice, caution hitter just to drown the pain away. Only saw me patch it up with weed and liquor. I know I should change my ways, but I never take advice that I deliver. I'm no saint. Ay. Real life cinema, kill 'em all, get 'em all, get 'em all back then. Did 'em I minimize? When am I gonna be recognized? If not now, then get 'em I, let it fly. Group boys, let it fly, get 'em I back then. Get 'em I minimize, criticize, cut that bullshit, fuck that shit. Doggy dog man like some. I get how to cope with it. Those don't perks and Vicodins. The vices always strike again. Hey, safe to say, outside it's not safe to play. Stay.
Time to take a closer look at Black Suit Spider-Man under the portrait lens. It's too bad this mask does not have the McFarlane eyes, but I still like it. Kinda looks like an alien insect. I love how the eyes are painted, and I especially love the blue outline on the eyes. Likewise, the spider symbol also seems to have a blue outline, although very subtle. The costume is quite outstanding thanks to that really nice material and all the details, including the lines and the different textures. Here's another look at Spidey under the portrait lens, but this time he's got the pincers on, and I love this pose. Up close, you can see how nicely the pincers are painted, especially that blue translucent plastic right at the end. The symbiote infection also looks pretty good. You can move it around a little bit, but I suggest you don't take it off. The costume does bunch up in poses, but fortunately it goes back into position without any creases. Now we're taking a closer look with the alternative mask on. I think it's worth the effort to find the alt mask version, and I love how it contrasts with the black suit. I love all the symbiote accessories, they really add to the flavor of this suit, but I am greedy and I wish we had more. Up close, that alternative head sculpt just looks gorgeous. I'm very impressed by these pincers. They can allow for some really cool dynamic poses. Up close, you get a serious appreciation of that Venom suit. It's so shiny. In addition, that mask makes him look like an insect, and I love all the detail on the costume. Finally, here's a look at Black Suit Spider-Man outside in natural light, and despite no artificial lights, the suit still looks pretty good. Time for some size comparisons, and just to give you an idea of how 1/6 scale looks with 1/12 scale, we have Mafex Black Suit Spider-Man on the right, and I can't decide which Spidey I like best. I do love the McFarlane style eyes on this. I think they're both very good for articulation, though of course this is superior in terms of articulation. They both look aesthetically very pleasing, but I really do like the blue on black paint on this. If you collect both scales, these two are must-haves if you are a fan of Black Suit Spider-Man. Now we have Classic Suit Spider-Man from the first video game by Hot Toys, and I think they display nicely together. I really do like the classic colors. I think the bodies are different. The proportions on this seem to be much better. The proportions here seem to be a bit awkward. Those hands hanging by the side makes him look like a gorilla. Now we have Black Suit Spider-Man next to Tom Holland in his final red and blue suit from No Way Home, again by Hot Toys, and they both display nicely together, but you can tell that Tom Holland's Spider-Man has more realistic human proportions. In addition, he is a bit shorter than this video game version of Black Suit Spider-Man. My final score for Hot Toys Black Suit Spider-Man is going to be 5 out of 5 stars. This is already one of my favorite figures in my collection. The costume and sculpt look great and have a very nice alien aesthetic. The pincers are a lot of fun with many points of articulation. The other accessories, including the special edition sculpt, are also quite excellent. And the figure is highly poseable, giving it a lot of play value. I do have some minor gripes. For starters, while I accept that there are a generous number of accessories, I wish there were more symbiote pieces. And for some reason, my special edition sculpt does not fit easily on the body. Finally, the magnetic wings are not very magnetic and can be a bit frustrating to use. Oh, and also it would have been nice to have a Peter Parker sculpt. Overall though, Hot Toys Black Suit Spider-Man is an instant classic. Would highly recommend the figure, especially the special edition before it sells out. That's my review, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Please do check out my reviews of Mafex Black Suit Spider-Man, Hot Toys Deadpool, and my other Hot Toys Spider-Man videos. Until next time.